Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today I am showing you my Destashify lookbook for August and showing you 3 fabrics that I picked up for September. So picked them up in August, but I'll be showing you what I made with those in September. So very excited, and I'm excited to show you what I've got. It was all about the coats. Well, not really. I have one pair of shorts that lounge shorts here. But okay, for August, I had 4 fabrics that I grabbed from Destashify. And as a full disclaimer, I am given a gift card at the beginning of each month from Destashify in order to try out some of the site and to grab the fabric. Obviously, the fabric depends on the sellers and that kind of thing, but you know, just to bring you guys some awareness, go have a look. It is so much fun to troll that site because you never know what's gonna pop up. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about what you can expect from me with some, you know, how to take full advantage of that later in September. I'll be talking about that more at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But let's get us going with my 2 new jackets. Okay, we're gonna start with this lady over here first. Obviously, I feel like I'm creating a color palette for fall here with this color story that I've got going on. Yes, I'm like, that works out well as when I start putting things together for my own fall wardrobe. But one of the fabrics I grabbed was this wonderful, and I think these all came from the same seller. That often happens to me. But this is waxed cotton, and I got a lot of it. I think it may have been close to 4 yards. I don't think quite 4 yards, but close. Because I got this jacket out of it, and I think I have enough to do. I was kind of thinking maybe like a belt bag or a little backpack. We're going to Disney in October, and I think having a little bag to carry, like, you know, again, like around my waist or on my back or something for our stuff would be really helpful. And if I made it out of the wax cotton, which is a water repellent fabric, then I wouldn't have to worry. I mean, it's Florida, it rains. Our stuff getting like really wet. So we'll see. I folded that up and put it away. But this is the, I was going back and forth. I thought about making the Kelly Anorak from Closet Core Patterns, but I was looking through the fold line. I don't know if you ever go into their database, but it is great for looking up different patterns and stuff. They carry commercial and independent pattern companies. Anyway, it's a wonderful little database to go look at patterns and that sort of thing. But I came across, this is from, oh my gosh, the name of the pattern designer just flew out of my head. Amy Nicole? I think it's Amy Nicole Studios. I'll put it here. But this is the Whitney raincoat. And when I saw it, number one, I thought the style was really cute, but I'm like, oh, I have to make that. It's called the Whitney. Anyway, it is such a cute little pattern, and it went together so well. Her instructions are fantastic. This is the first pattern that I have, maybe it's Amy Allen. Amy Allen Studios? We'll put it here, sorry. I digress. Anyway, it's a raincoat. It's got a hood. It's got this button or snap placket that covers up. It obviously has the zipper. It's got inseam, here there's princess seams in the front, inseam pockets here for your hands. It is fully lined. Oh my gosh, we'll talk more about the lining I used here as well. And then it features, it's a swing A-line shape, but it features this really cute little pleat here in the back. I will put footage of me over this one while I'm talking about this so you can see it. This cute little pleat in the back, this cute little detail. I just thought it was such a fun sew. It's got a raglan sleeve, but it has beautiful darts that are here in the shoulder to give it some shaping. It's just lovely. This waxed cotton, so it is, it's like a brushed cotton on one side. I would say it's a similar weight to like cotton twill maybe, like a similar weight. But it's kind of a brush side on one, and then it's been waxed on the other side. So the wax on the fabric, so it feels like a raincoat fabric. And this is what raincoats were made out of, and still are, but this is what raincoats were made out of before, you know, your polyesters and your nylons and stuff came around. So it's, you know, been around for a long time. Excuse me. But it's wonderful. And of course this terracotta color is just so great for fall, and I'm loving it on me. It's on my color card. Works just really, really well. Now, The other thing with this pattern is that she shows you how to seal your seams And I bought this. This is actually this water-based seam seal. Sorry, I don't have the bottles in the other room, but this is what the package looks like that I just got off Amazon, and it's for tents. So like if you're an outdoors person and you want to seal those seams, it's basically making them waterproof, because you know when you sew, you are making holes, and then obviously the seam, things get pushed open, you've got little holes in there. It just seals all that up. There's a little brush on the top of the bottle. It just went on, and that's the first time I've done that. This is actually my first time working with wax cotton as well. It sews just like regular cotton. You do have to be careful with pressing, because the wax will, it activates when it gets warm. But I found if I just used a press cloth, and I have a Teflon shoe on my iron, I was absolutely fine. I didn't have any issues. So something to keep in mind. I did do quite a bit of top stitching, and then for my lining, I have this rayon in my stash. Here, I'm gonna bring her closer so you can see. I had this rayon in my stash that I bought from Style Makers. Look, it's like coral and like under the sea type things. I bought this with the intention of using it for a lining at some point, because I thought the print was just so cute, but I wasn't sure that I would wear a garment in this, although maybe like PJs or something. Anyway, I had 2 yards of it. It was just enough, with a little left over for maybe pockets or something on another project, to use for that. And then for my sleeves, because the rayon challis is not very slick, but I wanted something slick, I had some leftover lining. So sorry. Some leftover lining that I used. So this is actual lining fabric. It's like a jacquard lining fabric. I had just enough for the sleeves of that piece left over. This is actually the lining that's in my Grain Line Yates coat. So just enough for the sleeves, which was perfect. And then my pockets I also lined in that same rayon. Anyway, I love having a fun little bright pop right there. So yeah, new techniques to me. We're sealing my seams. It was so easy. I know that Closet Core has talked about that with the Kelly Anorak. They've had like a blog post and stuff on how to do that. I just had never, I don't know, it seemed hard. So I didn't really look into it much, but then I was reading the instructions for this. I'm like, you know, if I'm gonna make a coat out of water repellent fabric, I should go, you know, let's seal the seams. So yeah, I ordered that off Amazon, and it went on. It took longer to dry than anything, you know. So once I'd let it dry and then finish constructing the coat, and she tells you in the instructions right when you need to apply your seam sealer. So, and she works in a very assembly line style, so like how you would work if you were in the industry, for instance, if it was in a factory being made, which I love because it goes quicker. It's just, you know, less time going back and forth from your sewing machine to the pressing station and back. You do a whole bunch of steps, then you go press everything, and then that sort of thing. So very pleased with my new raincoat. This is just going to be worn a ton as we get into the rainier seasons here in Indiana, when my husband and I want to go take our walks. This is going to be perfect. And the pockets are nice and deep. I can put, you know, take the dog out for walks. I can get her poop bags in there. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So very excited about this make and moving with this going forward. Okay, let's push her over to the side a little bit. This was my second make, and I used 2 of the 4 fabrics in this one. So I had gotten this gorgeous, the color on this just makes me so happy. Peach colored, I think it's a Michael Kors cashmere coating. And then I also grabbed some, and I think I had 1.5 yards of the Michael Kors, but it's wide. It was like 60 inches wide, maybe even 62. It was wide though. And then I had 1 yard that I grabbed of this Pendleton wool flannel, because I thought the colors looked so good together. It just makes me happy. But the Pendleton is only 44 inches wide, if that. It was very narrow, and I only had 1 yard of it, so I had to be very careful in what I wanted to use. So in my head, when they arrived, I was picturing like a Southwest inspired, you know, cowgirl western kind of flared jacket. And I played around with making the Sienna Maker jacket, but then I was kind of having a hard time deciding how I wanted things to be placement and all that kind of stuff. But then Style Arc Patterns released a couple of new patterns, and one of which is the Smith woven jacket, and I just thought it was so cute. It's kind of like a denim jacket, but with some different details. So I'm like, that'll be a lot of fun. So I grabbed this. Now, it is not a lined jacket, and you may be thinking, are you nuts? Why wouldn't you line cashmere? Wouldn't it be itchy? But the back side of it, the back side of it is, I don't know if you can tell, I just liked the color, and I wanted to use the bias binding from the Pendleton. I love the idea of using the Pendleton for the bias binding, and to be honest, I was like, you know, I'm never gonna be wearing a sleeveless top under this, because it's cashmere. I tell you what, taking the footage for this thing for you guys today, because it's, let's see, what is it? It's like over 80 degrees right now, and the humidity is ridiculous, and I about died taking these shots. Let me back up a little bit. But I kind of thought, you know, this is a denim style jacket. It's not meant to be lined, and I kind of want to go with that. So I'll always be wearing a long sleeve shirt underneath it, because when it's cold enough for me to wear this, or cool enough for me to wear this, I would be wearing long sleeved. So I decided to keep it unlined. And again, it's kind of got, it's brushed on the right side, and on the back side, it's just like just a regular weave back here. So it's not ugly, and I liked the color pop with that, so I left it. I've not put snaps on this yet. I think I am gonna put snaps here down the front, but I did not have enough. Normally I keep those in my stash, so I'm waiting on more to arrive. But I had a lot of fun planning out how I was gonna use the Navajo print. I say Navajo, I don't know that it's Navajo. The Pendleton print. That was, yeah, sorry about that. That was not, yeah, I don't know what the pattern is. But, so the jacket actually has patch pockets with the flap on here. I just didn't want that much bulk, because it is a cashmere. And it's a brushed cashmere, so it's got a little bit of poofy to it. So I didn't want poofy pockets on my poofy boobs. So I just put the flap in and then top stitch the flap down. I've done this on Style Art patterns before. I think it's a way for me to have detail without it making me look bustier than I am. I did the undercollar and the collar band in the Pendleton, and then the yoke, obviously, and then the back yoke I did in the Pendleton, and then it's got this cute little pleat that's here in the back, kind of a swishy. It gets longer in the back. And then the sleeves I played around with a little bit. So the sleeves have this like extra pleat that's in here. On the pattern, the pleat is meant to be pulled out and top stitched down. It's just like a detail and then top stitch, so you have like a stripe a little bit. But I thought it would be kind of fun to have the patterned fabric peep out through the pleat there on the sleeve. So that is, so yeah, I folded those in instead of pulling the pleat out, just to have like a little pop, which I think, well, we'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts. And then with the remainder of the Pendleton, I just did bias binding to finish all of my edges, and I think that looks lovely. I did use the serger for some things, just to neaten things up a little bit, because the Pendleton was a bulkier fabric to be using for like a bias binding finish, but I think it worked fine for the areas, you know, the facing sides where I used it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. I'm on the fence. I don't know, I'm not 100% sold on this jacket on me. I feel, my daughter said that she got Western vibes when I had it on, which was kind of what I was going for, like a Southwest, Western, because that's what Pendleton reminds me of, even though it's made in the Northwest. I don't know. But I feel a little like a jester sleeves, maybe? I don't know. Did I get away from myself? I just got so excited with the prints together, the print and the solid together. Did I get away from it? Does it make me look too bulky? Like the sleeve is kind of bulkier with the pleat. I can't decide if I like it on my body, if it's just throwing my proportions off. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. So while I'm waiting for snaps on this one, I'm gonna put it in timeout and just hang it. I mean, I'm not gonna be wearing this for a while anyway, just because it's so hot, but I definitely am on the fence about this. Also, this pattern is not drafted for fabrics as heavy as this. I mean, this works fine. I think the drape on it and everything is fine for, like, the suggested fabrics were like denim, cotton twills, heavy linens, stuff like that. But Style Art Patterns, when they draft their patterns, they do a lot of industry seam allowances. So the seam allowances change throughout the garment, so that you have to do less trimming at the end, which can be very handy. Well, on their collars and around the collars and around like necklines and stuff, they use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is fine most of the time, but when you're using fabrics as thick as these, it's not enough seam allowance. And so I unpicked this stupid thing so many times because the turn of cloth, which is the thickness, so where stuff has to travel over, is so much thicker on this than it would have been had I used like just a heavyweight linen or even a lighter weight denim. Because I think you would have issues if you were using like a heavier denim too. But anyway, I do like the pattern. I would make it again. But I don't know what it is about this jacket that I'm just not sold on it. It could also be that I was wrestling with it so much when making it that I've just fallen out of love with it for now, which is why it's just gonna go in timeout for a little bit. So, love to hear your opinion, what you think. Because the fabric is so beautiful. The fabric is so beautiful. So it will break my heart a little bit if I decide I don't like this. So I'm just gonna put it in timeout. It's gonna hang on my hanging rack here until I have completely decided my feelings about it. So anyway, but it is a great pattern and the fabric is lovely. So that is everything with the Smith woven jacket. And then finally I had, my fourth fabric was this, I think it's a rayon French terry. It's a lightweight rayon French terry and this kind of tie-dye. I didn't get pictures of these on me just because it's a very, it's just lounge shorts. I think I just had like a yard of it. I had just enough to do the Luna lounge shorts. So this is the Love Notion Luna lounge shorts. I recently made all the other pieces of that pattern, so now I've made them all. But yeah, these are just gonna be good for like wearing, working in the yard, wearing them around the house. I don't know, I don't like sleeping with bottoms on, so that I wouldn't necessarily be sleeping in these, but it's good for, when we're at people's house and stuff, just traveling so that I have pants on. But I did go ahead and put a drawstring on here because I had one of these, or a couple of these hot coral shoestrings still left over. I like to use shoestrings for my drawstrings, and I just thought that was a really fun pop of color. So they're very comfortable. Again, I didn't get any footage of me in them, but they're just a pair of loose shorts. But it's a great pattern. So I think these are gonna be, this fabric was best served as the lounge shorts, and I think it's gonna probably get worn a ton. So that's very good. All right, let me move the ladies out of the way, and then I will show you the fabrics that I grabbed for August. Okay, so I grabbed 3 fabrics this time, and they're really good. I went over my gift card allowance by quite a bit this month, but it was worth it. So I'm gonna start actually with this fabric. These are all from the same seller, and yes, it was Jillian, I think. I have her note still here. Has great taste in fabric. Well, I've said it somewhere. I just had it here. Okay, so for the first fabric, I grabbed, this is the See You at 6 twill, cotton twill. I think it's cotton. I'm pretty sure. I can check that to make sure. But look at this print. Isn't that stunning? The See You at 6 fabrics are they have just the most stunning prints. Yes, and I have seen this one before, and I knew that I'm trying to see, Playtime. This is called Autumn Joy. I don't know, Playtime might be the name of the print. Anyway, it's got animals and stuff on it. The colors are beautiful, and you'll even see that this kind of a terracotta-y salmon-y color is in there, along with the greens. All of these I could pull in from the back green is a little cooler green that I wear, but I think the stuff on top makes it okay. So I have a lot of yardage of this. So I've been going back and forth. A lot. 1, 2, 3. There's over 3 yards. Well, this is probably meterage. Maybe. I don't know. I have a lot here. Over 3 yards. Doesn't matter. So I'd never sewn with this substrate of theirs, and so number one, I was anxious to try it out because I was just curious to see what it would feel like. It is a thinner, it's a twill, but it is a thinner weight than I kind of thought it would be, which is great because I was a little worried that it would be a heavy weight where you'd only maybe want to use it for jackets or like bags and stuff like that. But no, this could totally be used. You could even do like a shirt out of this. It'd be a little bit, not a heavyweight shirt, but this would definitely be like a shirting weight. I would do looser fitting pants, like I wouldn't do a tighter pair of pants, but I would do a looser pair of pants, a loose jacket. I thought a little bit about quilting some of it and making a quilted jacket. I think that would be beautiful. And actually I may have enough to do both. But what I think I've landed on is in September, I'm gonna be doing the whole month is gonna be about economical sewing. So ways that we can get the most out of our patterns, ways we can get the most out of our patterns, ways that we can buy fabric economically, just ways that the sewing hobby I think is still a more economical way of dressing, even though, and we'll talk more about that, even though fast fashion, yes, can I go into a Target and buy a t-shirt cheaper than I can make it? Yes, but my t-shirts last way longer. They're better on the environment because I'm just making myself the one that I need so you don't have waste. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons, but we're just gonna go over ways that sewing doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. There are ways that we can be smart and do things economically. So we're going to be touching on a whole bunch of different subject matter. But one of those things is pattern hacking. And so on Sundays, I'm going to be doing some pattern hacking and just ways to make our patterns go the distance for us. So I think one of these is going to be I'm playing around with the Love Notions Harmony right now, which is a blouse pattern, and it's kind of a swing blouse pattern, and I love it for the tank top or the sleeveless version. I think it's my layering piece for sleeveless, and like a cami top kind of. It's like my version of kind of a cami top. Anyway, I thought that it would be really fun, because I'm playing with that pattern right now, to hack that into a dress. So to have a swing style dress, and I'm trying to decide if I've just really been loving the maxi length. So that could happen. And it could also be that I just I make it like I'm gonna hack the Rhapsody. So it could be that I do like a low drop waist dress, is what I'm trying to say, drop waist dress with a ruffled tier on it. Or it could be that I just make it longer. I don't know. I'm still playing around with that. But I think that is what this is going to be. If I have some left over, I may do a quilted jacket or a quilted vest for myself, because I do have a ton of this. Because I think that would be so beautiful as a quilted jacket or a quilted vest, don't you? And it would be it's a light enough weight fabric that I think once it was quilted, it wouldn't be awful. So, it wouldn't be super heavy, thick and heavy. So anyway, that is what I'm thinking for that. It's definitely going to be a dress, a Harmony hack dress, and possibly have I washed this? Yes, I think I have. And possibly a jacket, or I have a ton of this. A jacket or a vest of some sort. So we'll play around with that a little bit more, but I just thought that was stunning. And then this is where I just couldn't decide between these two prints. So, okay, so this was one of them, and I'm trying to see what I'm pretty sure she said that she got the rest of these two, maybe all three of these, from Guthrie and Ghani, and which is a beautiful UK fabric shop that I would love to visit one day. But this one is a sweatshirting fleece. So this one, look at this print. So it's my ochre, it's kind of that salmon color I've been playing, which is kind of my pink that I can wear. And then it's kind of it's a navy on the background, but not like the navy that almost goes black. It's like my navy, that's like a dark blue. But it is fleece on the one side. So this is sweatshirting fleece, and I have a ton of this too. One of these pieces I thought I had almost 4 yards. It may be what I just showed you. 2, 3, oh, it might be this. Oh, I bet it's this. I bet it's this. I have a ton of this fabric as well. So here's what I'm thinking. As you all know, I am going through, my personal life has just been a little on the crazy side right now. And I'm trying to be flexible, but my mind is wired to be on the schedules, and that's how I do well with schedules. But when you can't be on a schedule because everything is up in the air and you're having to wait and you have to be flexible, I didn't realize that I was as tightly wound as I am. But I am really struggling mentally with being this flexible. I mean, I can be flexible, but I'm having to be so flexible right now. So I would prefer, if I'm reaching for comfort clothes for my mental health, I would prefer that they be put together and still make me feel good, because that's what I need right now. I need to be getting dressed. I need to be feeling good. I need to do what I can from that perspective in order to help my day go as smoothly as possible for the rest of it. So I have a ton of this. So part of me, and I'll show you the other one too. I don't have nearly as much of, and the other one's a French terry, but the pattern is so good. So this is what I'm thinking. Well, here, I'll show you the other one real quick, and then I'll tell you what I'm kind of thinking for both of these, because I'm kind of going back and forth. This is the other print, and it is a French terry, and it is gorgeous. Look at this print. Isn't that pretty? So again, it's my ochre color or mustardy color, and then I've got a lot of my color card that I can pull from this. Okay, and this is, okay, both of these are Poppy is the name of the company. This print is called Painted Flowers, and this print is called Just Flowers. Okay. Anyway, this is a French terry. That is a sweatshirting fleece. So this will be a little bit lighter weight. And I've got plenty to do kind of whatever I want. I don't know, maybe 2 meters. I bet I have 2 meters of this fabric. I bet I have 4 of that. And over 3 on that. I have a lot of fabric to play with. Okay, so then I've got this one. Obviously both are like sweatshirting type patterns and that sort of thing. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm trying really hard not to make all the Stantons, because that is exactly what I want to do with these. But I want to branch out, and I have Stantons, and I love them. But I do want to branch out a little bit. But that being, I'm not promising that some of this isn't going to be made into one, because I love them that much. And I kind of thought it might be fun to do another one. I've made one where I just did a neckband instead of a hood that I do really enjoy. But that being said, I was kind of thinking, especially with this one, of maybe doing another Itch to Stitch Bainbridge. I have made one of those. I love it. It's in like a teddy kind of fabric. It's not really a fleece fabric because it's not soft on the back side, but it is like a teddy coating, and it's got stretch to it in a mustard color, and I use Liberty for the bindings. You use woven fabric for the bindings around the sleeve and in the collar placket and stuff. It's a really cool pattern. I love that thing, and I do wear it quite frequently. So I could see, and it's got the little placket, so I could see this being like a quarter zip style. Or I could see maybe this being the Bainbridge as well. So again, these are going to kind of be, back and forth. I also love the idea of making myself a cozy dress out of one of them, especially as we get into the colder months, and if I'm going to be back in Missouri a ton, I want things that are easy to pack but that are still going to be cozy and comfortable. I don't want to be taking a million things. Most of the time I feel like I'll be driving back and forth to Missouri, but there could be instances where I'm flying. Unfortunately, there's not a direct flight from Indianapolis to Kansas City anymore since COVID, so that does mean I have to fly to Chicago or Detroit, or some flights have me flying to, like, Southwest has me flying to, would have me fly to Denver before going to Kansas City, which, if you are familiar with the continental US, makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, I will probably mostly be driving. It's a 500-mile drive, ish, right around there. So it's not an easy drive. I mean, it's not a quick drive. It's a pretty easy drive, but it's not a quick one. Anyway, looking for things that'll be nice and warm, and I'll be staying in their basement, which, I mean, those just to tend to be just a little chillier, and I will be, when I am working in Kansas City, I'll be working in my parents' basement as well. So anyway, just looking for things that I can, you know, kind of like comfort food, but in clothing form. So I feel like a nice knit dress is going to be in order. Maybe with this one, because I have so much of this one, and how comfortable would a sweatshirt dress be? I mean, that would just be just wonderful. And I kind of thought even like a fit and flare one, like maybe I'll make a Wonderlust in this, or, well, I don't know, like a Wonderlust, a Pattern Emporium Wonderlust, or a Love Notions title. Although the Love Notions, I'm wearing a Wonderlust right now, and it has a center back seam, but then just the side seams. The title has the center back seam, but then it has princess seams in the front, so it breaks up the print just a little bit more. But I don't know. I mean, this is maybe busy enough that I wouldn't mind. And I do love my title. I wear that one a ton. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking. We're gonna have a quarter zip pullover, and then have a sweatshirt dress of some sort, and maybe a sweatshirt. I have a ton of this fabric, so we can do a lot of fun things with that. Anyway, there we have it. That is my fabric haul from Destashify. Guys, if you have not been on Destashify, you need to go have a look. There are some really cool things that are over there. Now, let's talk a little bit about September a little bit more. I'm going to be doing a video in September. Well, I'll show you what I made in September, but we're also going to be talking about, when I do that, I'm going to do a screen recording of just what happens to be on Destashify at that moment, and we're going to pair some fabrics that are on Destashify with some patterns, and we can even look at some patterns that are on Destashify, you know, to kind of give you guys some ideas if you want to go over there and do some shopping. And also I can talk about, you know, PDF patterns would be good for some fabrics and that sort of thing. So that's going to be a video in September, because I think it's thrifting fabric basically. And I think it's not only a great way to buy fabric, and to be responsible with our stashes. You know, a lot of us carry heavy stashes, and I'm speaking of myself right now. And, you know, are we going to sew through all of it? You know, our tastes change. And while I have tried to be much smarter about buying my fabric, that has not always been the case. So I have a lot of stuff here that, yeah, it's probably stuff I'm not in love with anymore. So I am going to be doing two separate videos. One where I'll show you what I've made and the fabrics I've grabbed for September. And then we're going to be pairing, this actually might be two separate videos, pairing some fabrics from Destashify with some patterns. But I'm also going to get on and show you how to sell on Destashify. I've not done this yet, and I'm very excited about doing that. I'm going to be pulling in my teenage troops to help me with that. But yeah, we'll go through and I'll do a screen recording of how I upload a piece of fabric onto the site so then you can sell it, and I can even go through the whole thing of, okay, now it's sold, this is how I, you know, then ship it out. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, because I definitely have some things that can go to new homes, and I think that that would be a really fun way to show that. Also, selling stuff on Destashify is a great way to make some extra money and helps make your hobby. Number one, fabric is going to places that people are going to love and cherish it. And number two, it's a great way to kind of make some money back. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I went crazy at that fabric sale, I shouldn't have, I bought stuff I didn't need, I've also been there, this is a great way to kind of recoup some of that, things that you don't think you're actually going to use. So yes, that'll be coming up in September as well. I think that's it for today, folks. So September is going to be our next video. We'll be in September. I have a very exciting thing to show you as we're going to be talking about sewing clubs and pattern clubs and, you know, belonging to those and what that can mean and how that can make for economical sewing. So that will be on Friday. And then we'll be talking wardrobe plans, all that kind of stuff for fall. Will be next week. So that's exciting, and through all of that, we're going to be talking about the economies of sewing and how to be more economical and saving money and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not just sewing my own clothes for fall. In fact, I'm actually going to probably be sewing very few clothes for myself this fall, only because my closet is just really full. But I have my friend Jenny on, and we're going to be showing how she is coming to create a capsule wardrobe. She doesn't sew, but she works for me now, and I'm going to be sewing a few pieces for her. So as if she were sewing, you know, her own. But this is also kind of a perk for her being my employee and doing so much for me right now. I pay her, but on top of that, as just kind of a thank you. So yeah, if you hadn't hit that subscribe button, you definitely want to do that because so much good content I have planned for September. All right, I think that's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. I hope you get some sewing in, and I will see you guys again on Friday. Bye.